cut off really early.
Okay. Did we actually do, I think we did the Powerball and the Mega Million, didn't we? Okay. Okay, and I said I was going to show you some more problems out of 5.5. So that's what we're going to do today. I haven't received any questions from y'all. So, and I'm talking about 5.1 and 5.2. I'll check again. I don't see any chapter 5 questions from y'all. This is from somebody else. This is from another class. So that means that y'all pretty much understand 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3, or you haven't done it, one of the two. So I'm going to move on and show you the problems that you could see from 5.5. Okay. And I think I only showed y'all the one problem. And that is the lottery question. So since we were talking about factorial and the lottery, factorial, or I'm sorry, NCR and NPR. NCR is combination. And that's where you're going to see the lottery questions. What else will you see? You will also see committee questions. What do you mean committee? Well, say like there's 14 people in the classroom, 14 people in the room or in the club or in the business or whatever, and you want a 3-person committee. You want to form a 3-person committee. Then how many different committees can be made up of 14 people? How many different 3 committee members can be made up of 14 people? And that's where you do the 14 combination of 3. And that comes out to be whatever. Now that would be the other lottery question that I would ask you. All right. Then what about the NPR? Well, the NPR, that's your permutation. And what is the difference between permutation and combination? Well, it all has to do with what? Order. And which one likes order and which one doesn't like order?
Permutation likes order.
Okay, there you go. Permutation wants order and combination doesn't. Okay. So what kind of questions will you be doing with permutation? Trifecta and boards. What do you mean, Hubert? Well, with the trifecta, that's talking about racing, usually a race. And let me go ahead and explain this right now. That means people running fast, horses running fast. I don't want anybody to think it's the other race, okay? All right. Trifecta means first, second, and third. First, second, third. I know there's a couple of questions having to do with a car race and a horse race. Now, I have seen the horse race on many tests. Okay, you got 15 horses in a race. What is the possible outcomes for a trifecta? Or what are the possible outcomes for first, second, and third? And that would be 15 permutation 3. Okay, so that's one type question you will see, and we might see it before this class is over when we go and look at some problems on the slides. I'm just going to use the slides today on just the other type questions. Boards. What is a board? A board, I'm on the land use board, and we have a chairman, we have a vice chairman, and that's all we have, because there ain't no sense in having a treasurer unless we're embezzling money from the county. So, you know, they don't need a treasurer. So boards have offices, officers or officers, offices. Okay. Usually president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. Okay. Now that's what a lot of questions have. So it's kind of like the committee. These are two similar questions as far as the way they're written, but this one will have officers or offices, and it'll say something like there's 13 people in a church or business or organization. How many boards with a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer can be formed? And that's 13 permutation 4. Okay, so that's the different type you have with the combination and the permutation. So I'm going to leave that up for a couple more seconds. And we'll look at some other questions in 5.5. Then we'll go to the slides and let you see the examples. Okay. Now, what other questions do you have in chapter 5 or 5.5? Well, there's the question about meals and course and different combination of meals. Well, this would probably be the time to pull this up. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the slide for 5.5. And that way it'll be a little bit more, sometimes I need help with organization, so we'll just use that as an organizer. So, I got a question to ask you while I'm pulling this up. Has any of you got friends that are taking Math 120 from another teacher? Anybody? I just wonder where they are right now. They're probably ahead of us. But I was just wondering if anybody has anybody, friend or, and nothing. Okay. Thanks a lot for your interaction. I appreciate it. All you had to say was yes or no, but that's okay.
Most of my friends are taking it with you, whether it's in this class or another one.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I have some interesting 120s, let me tell you. I still got one, the 103 class. They're doing better. They're interacting now. They were kind of forced to, because I went through all of chapter 5 in like one class period. They wouldn't ask any questions, so I went, now they're talking now. So I hate to do that, but I don't understand. I realize some of it's conditioning, and you've been conditioned for 12 years not to ask questions. And then some of you may have heard about teachers that don't want you to ask questions in college. And then I'm the total what? Opposite. So I can understand that. There we go. Here is the slideshow, and I'll just, of course, I'm not going to go through all of it. And here is your first, there's your first question. Now this is a standardized test question and a question that I would put on a test. So go ahead and write it down. The restaurant, you ain't got to write Mabinka. You ain't got to, just restaurant offers the following: appetizer, soup and salad, entree, chicken, beef. I'm sorry, but I just can't. I can't eat. I've tried. Okay. There's 3 or 4 things in life that I cannot develop a palate for. One is liver. I've tried all the different kinds of liver, and I just can't eat it. Another is the smoking thing. I can't do that. I can't. In the Marine Corps ball, everybody would have a cigar. I'd throw mine in the trash can. I just, yeah. And coffee. I cannot, when I drink coffee, it tastes like hot water. So I don't know why. Or roast beef. Okay. Dessert, ice cream, or cheesecake. How many different meals can be ordered? Anybody have any idea? Well, you multiply them together. Yep, multiply them together. How do you multiply them together? Well, there's 2 offered here. There's 4 offered here. And there's 2 offered here. So that will be 2 times 4 times 2. That's pretty much it. 2 times 4 times 2. So with that question, 2 times 4 times 2. And that's equal to 8 times 2, which is 16 different combinations. 16 different combinations. And that is that question right there. Okay. So that's one type question you'll have out of 5.5. Let's look at the other type question, and that is the license plates. Let's go ahead. I'll make up the license plate. I'll do the license plate because I think it's from another class. It's from the 103 class. But it goes along license. How do you spell license? Is it S or C? It's C, isn't it? E-N-S-E. Is that right? Okay, license plate, key code for an alarm or PIN number. Let's say this is a license plate. And you're making license plates. And there's 5 spaces to put something. Okay? 5 spaces. And you decide that you want to put numbers on your license plate from 0 to 9. All right? When you do a problem like this, or key code before key, let's do 4 numbers for both the key code and the PIN number. And you got 4 spaces. And you want to use numbers from 0 to 9. Both of these are the same type problem. Space, raised, hold on, no, sorry. Number raised to the space. I just wrote it the wrong way. I did it again. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's the number raised to the space power. I feel like that's backwards. No, it's not. So how many numbers are between 0 and 9? Well, 10. So that would be 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th power. And this would be number to the space. So this would be 10 to the 4th power. And that would be the different combinations that you get. Now, they will throw one in there, and it will be like a license plate. I'll go ahead and show you another one. A license plate with 6 spaces, and they will say the first 3 have to be letters. And the last 3 has to be numbers. So this would be 26 to the 3rd power times 10 to the third power. And that's how you do a license plate with letters and numbers. What if you did an alarm with 4 spaces, and this one starts off with a letter, this one starts off with a number, and then a number, and then a number. Okay, well then that would be 26 to the first power times 10 to the third power. Okay, so there's 4 questions I just gave you with different types of, key codes or whatever you want to call them. Right there. It's always the spaces provided with either the letters or the number exponent. And that's the second type problem you will see. What's the third type? The third type I really don't care for, but I'll show it to you. Let me find it. Hold on. This one. Okay. Permutations with non-distinct items. Write that down and write that formula down. Because you actually have to do this. Okay. There's no shortcut to this equation. Okay. There's no shortcut. You actually have to do this. I mean, you know where I showed you the permutation and the combination formula on the previous slides? You don't have to know those because calculator will do those. This one you actually have to do. Okay. All right, so here's the example. I want you to write it down, and will you see it as a standardized test question? Yes. So go ahead and write it down, and I can't remember what other type question. I always see this question with flags, so I really don't know. So go ahead and write that question down, and you see how to do it. I mean, I'm not going to explain how to do it. I mean, you see it. There's 10 flags altogether. 5 are white. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just the terrorist veteran. 2 are red, 5 are white, and 3 are blue. I'm going to go with the old red, white, and blue. All right, I put them in that order. That kind of question right there just pisses me off. I'm sorry. Anyway, red, white, and blue. 2 are red, 5 are white, and 3 are blue. And we seek the number of combinations or permutations in order. And notice they use permutations, but it's not the formula that you're used to. That's because you've got 10 flags, 10 spaces that you can put flags, all right? Or 10 different flags. And what's the different combinations of the flags. And that would be 10 factorial over 5 factorial times 3 factorial times 2 factorial. And the way you would do that on a calculator, I will show you. You would just do 10 factorial. Let me clear everything. 10 math probability factorial equals. And I will stow that. That's where you get bread at stow. Stow that alpha, and I'm going to put n. Why am I going to put n? What does n stand for? The numerator. Okay. Now I'm going to do the bottom. Now, I've never tried this before, but I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to try to do this in one get-go. Five times 3 times 2. 5 math factorial times 3 factorial I don't know why they'll make factorial a hotkey, because they should. You can probably do that, but I don't know how to do it. I don't get into calculators that much. Math, and crank that out. And 1440, and stow alpha D for denominator. And clear it. And now alpha n divided by alpha d, and that should be your answer. 2520. It's a miracle. So make sure you know how to do that problem. Keep it in your notes, so you'll have it to study before you take a standardized test, whether it be the TEAS test or the SAT or the ACT or a placement test. Okay? Question, gripe, complaint. All right, there's the lottery question. I'm not going to go through the lottery question, but just go ahead and look at it. An urn contains balls numbered 1 to 52. 6 balls are randomly selected without replacement. So that's going to be 52 combination 6. And that's how you do that one. Look at there. For a $1 bet, what does that mean? That means that somebody is playing. So it's going to be 1 over 52 combination 6. And they'll probably show that. There it is, 52 combination 6. And they plugged it in the old formula. You would do it in the calculator. Here it is. Or 1. It would be 1 over that. So 1 over 20 million. Oh, so a player has 2 chances. I'm sorry. I thought it was 1 chance. 2 chances for $1. That'd be 2 over. Sorry about that. All right. I wanted to show you a committee or a board question, if they have one. Miss Poor, you're not having an earthquake over in Honey Path, are you? Or Belton? I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Honey Path or Belton. I'm looking. I don't see it yet. They're just explaining to you the difference between permutation and Okay. So let's look at some of the questions. Since they're not going to show you the questions, I'm going to show you the questions. And that's the wrong thing to hit. There we go. Let's go to your handy dandy chapter contents 5.5. And you're welcome for me doing this. You know, I could just say, okay, do your homework, but you're welcome. Since some of y'all are not even speaking, that's fine. Let's see if I can find one with the board and the committee. Do. Oh God, these are easy questions. Well, dadgum, are we ever gonna get? There we go. Let's see. I ain't believing this. Usually I can find one right quick. Okay, that's pretty simple. Well, there's a trifecta question right there. Write that one down for a trifecta question. And that is a test question. I know there is a test question with horses and cars. And this might be one for a car. Suppose 30 cars start a race. And how many different ways can the top 3 finishers finish? All right, so what is it? That's a permutation. So it'd be 30 permutation 3. So somebody crank that out. And somebody give me the numbers. Don't give me thousands or millions. Just tell me the numbers from left to right. Slowly.
This is permutation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 2, 4,
Hold on.
3, 6, 0.
2, 4, 3, 6, 0.
Yeah.
So there are 24,000 different combinations. 24,360 first, second, and thirds. Okay, so that's a test question. There we go. 4 members from a 47-person committee are to be selected randomly to serve as chairperson, vice chairman, secretary, and treasurer. The first person selected is the chairman, blah, 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 blah. So 47 permutation 4. Somebody do that one. 47 permutation 4. Okay, come on.
I got 4,280,760.
See how easy that was? I wanted to find a committee, but okay, a lottery exists where numbers 1 through 16 are placed in an urn. To win, you must match 4 balls in the correct what? Order. So this one is not a combination. It is a lottery question, but they put order in it. So it would be what? 16 permutation 4. Somebody give me that one. 16 permutation 4.
4. 3,
Hold on. 4, 3,
6, 8, 0.
6, 8, 0. What else? Is that it?
Yeah.
Thank
Maybe.
you. I have to go see who that was. That's Miss Yarborough. Thank you, Miss Yarborough.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, Miss Poor has disappeared. She has disappeared, y'all. Oh, there she is.
I'm
I'm
still
trying
here.
to keep
I was
up. You
just
know,
taking
I only
notes.
have 3 people that want to show themselves, so I have to make sure that you're okay. All right.
I'm good. I'm just writing down everything.
All right. I'm trying to find a committee member or a committee question. Some of these questions you won't see on the homework because these are study plan questions. I'm just picking out, I'm trying to find the committee. Okay, I'm gonna give you a question. Oh, that's cool. Miss Gravina's video froze while she was drinking. So it looks like she's just sitting there holding a bottle up. Is that frozen to y'all or is she moving to y'all?
She's frozen on mine too.
Yeah, that's Tri-County Tech at the Anderson campus wireless. Evidently her computer or something happened to their wireless. Oh, there she is. You were frozen in time there for about 30 seconds, Miss Gravina. I think she's still frozen.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, you were frozen in time. It was kind of like watching, one of those movies. All right. So here is a question I'm going to give y'all. And it is a committee question. And it's one that I see on standardized tests. There are 13 females and 7 males in an office. How many teams of 4 can be created? Okay, so they try to throw you off here. They try to throw you off by giving you 13 and 7. All right, but the whole point is how many people are in the office? There's 20 in the office. Teams do not have order, so that would be team combination 4. Now, if they gave you a question like how many 4 team members of women or females, then that would be totally different. That would be 7 combination 4. Okay, so this is all. If they asked for females, that would be 7 combination 4. And of course, if they asked for males, that would be 7 combination of 4. Sorry. Okay, so make sure, that most of the time they're going to ask this. Okay, but that's the type question, and you could replace teams with committees. But that's the same, that's the type question. You've already seen the board question, which is officers, and this would be a committee or a team, because a committee or a team does not have officers. Okay. Where'd Mr. King go? I'm worried about him. You still there, Mr. King? I don't see him in the enrollment. He left. Did somebody offend him? Miss Poor, did you offend Mr. King?
I might have.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I think we're done for today. Does anybody have any questions on any homework that you haven't sent? Nobody has any questions. What did somebody send them? Uh-oh. His mom just texted him emergency. Okay. Well, I have covered all of 5.5. Nobody has any questions. Y'all just want to get out of here today is what y'all want. That's what it is. Okay, well, let me go over one more thing for you before we leave today. And that is 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.5. 20% of the test. And I will cover the equation of the line of best fit, the slope, the correlation coefficient, and the scatter plot. Those are the most used questions I will use. Of course, you are responsible for being able to determine if there is a correlation or not by looking at a scatter plot. You know, you ought to be able to do that. That's the type questions I will ask right there. 5.1 is basic probability. 5.2 is the additive law. 5.3 is the multiplicative law. And 5.5 is counting using exponents and factorial. And that is going to be 80% of the test. And I have shown y'all what questions I would ask. Basic probability, you're talking about a deck of cards. You're talking about a die or a coin. And don't forget the children. Don't forget the kids. Remember, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. I told y'all to make an index card. Okay. They can also ask that. They can also ask that with coins, because coins is 0.5 and kids are 0.5. So you can use the kids card and make a coin card on the back of it, because it's the same thing. You just replace boy, girl with tails, heads, you know, because it's 50-50. All right. So the additive and the multiplicative law, the additive law, what I use for the additive law is the blood types. Did I go over the blood types with you? That's what I use, but they quit using. I don't know why, because it's a great question, because you can get like 16 questions out of that one table, you know, going this way, that way, going this way, that way. You know, you can get up 10 questions just by that one table. That's why I like that question. 5.3, golf balls. Different color golf balls in a bag. Same thing as the marbles in a bag. All right, they just ask for different color golf balls. And then factorial, lottery, trifecta, committees, and boards. Now, am I giving you every single question that's going to be on the test? No. I'm giving you about a 75% feel of what I will test you on. So that leaves 25% surprise. So make sure you do your homework. Any questions? All right, well, we're going to end class early today, but I'm going to make sure that Miss Harley didn't show up. Did she show up? I don't see her. Okay. Any other questions? So that means Tuesday is pretty much test day and review day. So make sure you're here Tuesday and make sure you send those questions, because I'm not going to cover questions much longer. Okay. I'm going to do the test Thursday or Tuesday. Okay. No other questions. All right. Y'all have a good day and good weekend. And I will